voter fraud. It's a topic that's coming up right now. Obviously, as you and I are talking about this, President Trump is probably tweeting saying, we're going to win. We got this. They did this. They did voter fraud. And you got the other side is saying, listen, just concede already. Give it up already. You know, let's move on already. And then you're saying constitutional attorneys saying, look, he's not going to concede. He's going to drag this out. And if he gets into a Supreme Court and he won Kavanaugh and he won, you know, Amy Coney Barrett, what most people don't realize is back in 2000 when George Bush and Gore were going through it, both Kavanaugh and Coney Barrett were a part of that when they took place. And it flipped. Obviously, we know who became president for 30 days. Al Gore was the president-elect. How much value are you putting behind what Giuliani, what a lot of these guys are doing right now in Trump's camp with voter fraud?
Well, I think voter fraud is a huge problem. We've actually done research on that at the Government Accountability Institute. It's a huge problem. The reason it's a huge problem is not only because it happens and it's increasingly happening, it's very, very difficult to detect. And this is the problem. So, you know, inevitably, there are going to be lots of examples that are brought forward of dead people voting, of people saying that a ballot was cast in their name when they didn't vote, or somebody that was denied to vote because it was said that they had already voted. You're going to find lots of examples of that. The challenge and the problem is showing critical mass in the size and the scope of how much voter fraud has happened. I don't know the answer to that. I don't think anybody does. I think absolutely it's good and it's healthy for President Trump to go through this process. He has every right to. And look, Washington, D.C. and our system of government is a government of institutions. We have courts. We have laws. We have a process that can be followed, and claims of voter fraud and going through judicial review are part of that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that, and I think he should be doing that. The question will come down, I think, ultimately to the Supreme Court. I'm not an expert on the Supreme Court. I fear that Chief Justice Roberts and others are going to be loath to be sort of thrust into the middle of this for fear of the damage in their mind that it might do to the Supreme Court. My view is this is precisely the sort of the thing that the Supreme Court should evaluate and should look into, assuming that these suits that have been introduced have claims, there's merit to them, which I think there probably is. So I think the process should go forward, but a lot of people that sort of are embracing the notion of the sky is falling, what are we going to do? We went through this in 2000, we're going to go through this now. It's not going to be a process that a large portion of people are going to be happy with at the end of the day, but this is the nature of the American system, and those that are saying he shouldn't do this, this is un-American, this is wrong, I think they're being ridiculous and have a very short memory, particularly when after 2016, so many people like Hillary Clinton and others were saying that he was not the legitimate president. I think if Joe Biden survives these court challenges and the votes stay in place, Joe Biden is the president of the United States, but Donald Trump has certainly a legitimate reason to challenge some of the voting in some of these states through the judicial process.